Today on PassBack, we're taking a look at the TOMS TRVL LITE shoes and how they perform for Freestyle Footbag. The TRVL LITE is a very basic casual sneaker that retails for $80 and comes in a few simple colors. I've been using this as my main footbag shoe for about 6 months now, and I've been pleasantly surprised at how they work for the sport, so let's take a closer look. At a glance, these shoes are aesthetically not much to look at on their own. They're very simple and could definitely use a splash of color, but in terms of footbag qualities, most importantly, the surfaces are all pretty big and flat, which makes kicking and installing the bag pretty easy. The sole and overall design is decently flexible, so you can get the most out of your crank. The surface material is canvas, so not as thin as some other shoes, but still has enough bag feel to be perfectly playable for my liking. And at 280 grams, these are one of the lightest shoes I've ever played in. In contrast to the weight, the overall feel is fine at best. I found them to be true to size, and the sole is a bit wider than a typical sneaker, but these are just obviously not designed for athletics. The sole doesn't have the bounce of, say, a running shoe, and these just aren't really built for hard landings. I've had a couple of close calls on ankle rolls, and plenty of times where my foot has pushed over the sole. I felt fine doing low set symposium tricks, but I wouldn't really want to do like a PS whirl or a superfly in these. Another downside to the casual design is that these are not incredibly long-lasting shoes. After half a year of mostly outdoor play, they're getting pretty close to the end of their life. I could probably stretch them to a full year, but the sole at the toes is getting pretty thin. At least I can say that the sole seems to have a lot of grip, and I haven't slipped once on a gym floor. So the feel and longevity make it a recommendation with asterisks for advanced players, but I think the TRVL LITEs are perfect for new players. If you hadn't noticed, the only mod I've done is the lacing style, and I haven't found any further mods to be necessary. I think they're perfectly playable right out of the box, making them really approachable for a new player. The couple of issues I outlined also don't really come into play at the beginner level. Since you'd be doing more basic tricks, the shoes would last a lot longer, and at that level you don't really need rock solid stability anyway. Despite the couple of flaws, I think the TRVL LITEs are overall a pretty good value for freestyle footbag. They might not beat Quantums for high level play, but at 60% of the cost, they're an easy recommendation, especially for a new player. One last thing before I go, in every video description you can find some helpful resources, including a chart of shoes I've been keeping, which has all of the relevant stats, where to find them, and their general availability. Unfortunately, a lot of the shoes that I've reviewed for this channel have since been discontinued, but this chart should always be up to date. As always, thanks for watching, and see you next time for more Freestyle Footbag videos on PassBack.